Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Synergy. Last time, we explored a lot of the world. I got some people killed. We don't talk about that. But we're trying to get to the Mesa, which is the city in distress. We should act as quickly as possible. First things first, we have to get our people to the swamp area, investigate it, and then come back. It's going to take 12 days to do that, which is over half a cycle. We are also in a dry cycle, so things are a little rough as they are. But we're doing okay. The Arborist's Workshop is making resin for us. And honestly, like, all we really have to keep doing is working on our districts now. So they're working on this first sun awning, which is going to help a lot of our houses in the dry season, lower the temperature anyway. We could also work on another. We have an option to have a second sun awning, as well as a well. But unfortunately, our wells are not in great places. We have that one over there, we have this one there, which is just outside of the cultural square. Not much can be done. This cellar is actually full to capacity, which is wild. Maybe what we need to be doing is, like, pulling this guy out of here, like, entirely? How are you making so many watery pods? It's absolutely insane what this man can do on his own. Like, how is this possible? How are you picking so many watery pods that you're overloading our entire cellar operation? It's crazy. We have 7 available citizens. Can we send out a second explorers team? It looks like we can. No, we can't. Never mind. Alright, that means we have to get people working again. We could be making remedy. Honestly, yeah. How's research going? You're working on wood? You guys are working on nothing. Okay. Do we have the stuff necessary to research stuff? Are you a do I even want more watery pod? Oh, you're a technological research anyway. What about this thing? We don't have any protective gear. Maybe that's why I don't have anybody researching anything. We don't have any musical instruments. We don't have any works of art. We do have tools in Boreal Rock. Honestly, since we're not doing anything else, and don't have the necessary cultural whatever, wisdom, go for it. Have at it. Have fun. I need to keep people employed. All right, so you don't have anybody working there. We could make, sculpture. How do you set production limits again? Whoops. Yeah, right click. I know this, or I knew this once upon a time. I like stumbled across it, and now I can't remember how to do it. Well, we should assign a citizen. Made out of tools and rock. Okay. Do we have any other recipes? We don't. Okay. Honestly, though, that would be great, because then we could come in here and research. Which guy was the one that wanted? This guy. The cubic statue. I assume that just makes people happy, but happiness is good. Increases our city's prosperity. Maybe it would push our culture higher. I'm not sure. We got any more rocky amalgams? Oh, you're a petrified giant. I thought you were a baby rocky amalgam. The occasional emergence of new rocky amalgams nearby. Not in a while. Haven't seen one in a very long time. Can speed up time. Yes, the sun awning. Fantastic. 300 out of 900 is not great, but we could build a lot of tables and street lamps. Longhouses is going to be a big one. That's 100 points on its own. We don't have any shady trees, which is kind of rough. The bunch tree, the sunshade, and the hatted tree, they're all in, like, the hatted trees are all over here, and the bunch trees are all down there. So we kind of got unlucky there. None of those, thankfully, and none of the smelly plants either. We do have a fair number of fruit-bearing trees, at least. 4 out of 8. So yeah, I guess we'll go for the other sun awning. Is that under social? That's just a table. Make that out of rock, though. It's interesting that the bench and the table counts as the exact same amount of resource, or the amount of happiness added, but it only costs half the resources. So I don't know why you would ever make the table, and it's also bigger. I don't know. Oh, maybe the area of influence. The area of influence of the table is much bigger. Suddenly, it makes more sense. If I were to add to this district more houses anyway, I would probably put them over here. But we'll hold off on that. Trapped in the mud. Approaching an area of green, the explorers don't find the gardens they had hoped for, but a village drowned in some stinking bog. Yikes! The silence is sickening, and there's nothing to indicate anything that could survive here. The path could clearly make anyone very ill should they not take precautions. Excuse me, I don't want to do this. I got my people killed doing something very similar to this not too long ago. Among the abandoned buildings, the explorers spot a cellar as well as a few houses, the roofs of which are still resistant to humidity. The largest building is adorned with rusty machines. After a closer look, it actually seems like a partially flooded lumber mill. Maybe it is still repairable. Woodworking project must be unlocked in the research tree to use this exploration event. Sure. It is easy enough to repair for a competent person. A belt has been dislodged, a mill is blocked, and a ventilation duct needs to be unclogged. Despite the stagnant swampy water on the ground that is seeping into their boots, the explorers each work on a different part of the mill so they can get it to work again. With it, the party is able to craft its own furniture by copying the models present in the building. However, it might be more appropriate to take the tree trunks away and decide what to use them for later. Music. Holy God! Well, this is cool because it unlocks the ability to make the music house, or whatever it's called. Guided by the models engraved in the building's walls, the explorers managed to craft some good quality musical instruments. Sick! Alright, come on home. Takes 12 days to get back, and then we'll send them to the city. The Chalcedony Mesa. Very cool. How's water production going? 110? Why are you guys so low on water? Are we out of toxic? We are not out of toxic water. The delivery mechanics are very confusing to me. These should be priority. Like, these should never be dry. We can definitely deprioritize this guy. We don't need to be taking resin out of here. And honestly, now that we got the resin up and running, we probably don't need to be gathering resin anymore at all, unless we need it for future stuff. So why don't we undo tapping and switch to pruning? Oh, did you notice that they changed the pruning image? Remember I pointed this out like a couple episodes ago where I was like, pruning and like shears are the exact same image? Well, the pruning is now a little axe now. So you'll never get confused like me again. Still haven't built these benches, but yes, thank you. Imaridon, can you be like water guy only? Just be taking water to these basins at all times. These should never be running dry. Especially that since we have excess toxic water. Like that's ridiculous. I wonder if the reason this guy is making so many watery pods is because he's close to the city and that they were always unloading the watery pods. We got vegetables on the ground. Who did this? Fire this person immediately. Still, yeah, like our food production is not a problem. Things are fine. Let's see. Did we unlock? We must not have. Wait a minute. Well, aha, the water condenser. Oh, no, wait a minute. Which one was I going to unlock? Yes, these two buildings. The carpentry and the weaver's workshop.
You guys are now a part of our industrial district. I don't want to hack down the trees. So maybe we can get rid of that fungus. All right, we have to get rid of the fungus. How big is the Weaver's Workshop? You're too big. Dang it. Are you in the district if I put you here? You aren't. Okay. So let's dismantle these 2 giant mushrooms. And we'll slap down the Weaver's Workshop here. And then the carpentry across the way. We constructed a bench. Good job, us. You guys done researching? You are. Fantastic. We haven't unlocked any of that stuff. Could get thorn sharpening, which is kind of an interesting idea since we don't really have a use for thorns right now. We don't have any protective gears, so we can't unlock that one. We will have musical instruments very shortly, but that's cultural research, so that is off limits. What if we get better vegetable preservation? Let's go for that one. What are these? Different plant species interact with each other, but to really study the relationships between these specimens, we first have to establish a list of assessment criteria. Oh! Are those new? Or have I just, like, completely ignored the existence of those? Because that one's cultural? They're both cultural. Okay, well, I know exactly what we're researching once these people are done with terracotta roads. 3 available citizens. I don't want to distract the deliverers too much. Especially because they're building benches. Yeah, we got 4 out of 8 table, bench, and street lamp. Could do another sun awning. Is that well-being? Yeah. That's resin and tree trunks. What if we put it like right here? I think that's a good place for it because we won't want to. We don't want to take down the straw tree. It's benefiting the cultural square. All right, I will. Since you guys refuse to come over here and get rid of these mushrooms, I will make them a high priority. We have 27 simple dishes in the starting stock. It's so close to being able to destroy this thing, and then we can fix our road so it doesn't have to go around it. That would be so nice to have a continuous road. Thank you for coming out here, Imaridron. Wasn't he the guy who saved the water people too? Are you the only person who's doing work around this village? I swear. Alright. So carpentry here. Weaver's Workshop right there. And then I'm going to slap a road down between these guys. Maybe we'll just go out this way. And maybe we'll connect them up here. Maybe we won't. These hatted trees do not look good. We must understand its needs to cultivate it. In an adapted environment. Okay. I suppose that's probably what those 2 cultural researches I looked at were. Where it's like, how do the plants interact with one another? Maybe these being like near mushrooms is bad for them. Or maybe the mushrooms are good for them. Because these guys are next to mushrooms. The expedition is back. They brought the resources with them. Thank you. Immediately turn around and go back to the city. Be gone. Out you go. 4 days on that guy. 1 day on terracotta roads. And we'll be able to build a street lamp too. How cool. I think it'll be added to social. I think. I don't know what happened here. Why did you put these two vegetables on the ground? Don't waste your cabbage leaves. They're useful. 0 days. All right, they've done it. Okay, now you look at this one. We just rolled over and we got 1 more adult. Does that mean we have 4 people? All right, let's throw another person onto the cultural wisdom workshop. And then we'll have to prioritize these because it doesn't seem like our people just do anything.
And maybe it's just because everybody has so many jobs to do that you just don't have a lot of spare people lying around to build stuff anymore. Do we have a lot of bark? We sure do. Bark is the one thing I have, like, way too much of. Do we have enough tools? For now. Do we have enough tree trunks? Barely. Alright, we have 10 works of art right now. We have none works of art right now. Never mind. So let's let them finish this set of works of art, and then we'll switch them back over to tool manufacturing. Gonna take you 12 days to do that one. That one's almost done. Oh, you can see the research there too, which is kind of nice. It's our book of knowledge. Oh, that's just kind of like your encyclopedia of things in the game. We're full of toxic water. You bozos. Yeah, it's almost like we need just like extra people lying around. I don't know what this guy does. He's like exclusively dedicated to transportation, but he's like never transporting anything. Who is this person? Sakar? Is your only job to carry food? I think I had this like epiphany before where I was like, they only deliver food. Let's observe. So he's taking cabbage leaves. He's done it. Now he's going to water. What the heck, man? Let's unprioritize the cabbage leaves. Although it's full. We need to keep prioritizing the cabbage leaves. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with any of these people. Maybe that's like a kind of an unspoken rule of synergy is you need to keep enough people available. And now they're just wandering over here. What the heck? That you need enough people around to be transporting things to keep your village running relatively smoothly. Because now this one is full. Alright. Well, honestly, the pharmaceutical factory is like totally superfluous. So we should definitely have just like extra people being unassigned just to be able to transport stuff better. And part of it is our people are being absorbed into these construction efforts right now, so they're being taken away from the ability to transport stuff right now. Oh, we didn't unlock the... Maybe it's a decoration. Oh, it is. Okay. I was going to say, we didn't unlock the ability to have a light bulb, but we did, just in a different category. Taking them a long time to build that building. The weather station. 60, okay. 30 tools? Let's do it. Weather station is interesting, and it does boost the market square by 100, which would be nice. And you're almost done with the art. Couple more days. And then we'll switch you back to tools since we are actually down to 2 tools left. Yeah, and we're definitely going to need more people because we have even more buildings to employ people in. Oh, this is kind of cool. You can make art with glass and tree trunks. We could make, what are you? Musical instruments with lianas and tree trunks. And then we could just make tree trunks out of resin and bark. That is interesting. But okay. Well, we're bringing back a bunch of musical instruments. Oh, we brought it back, but I don't think our people dropped it off now that I think about it. I wish that's something that... I don't know if that's something the devs plan to change, but that would be something that I would like to see added to the game, is that rather than having the people have to, like, unload their equipment, that whenever the exploration team gets back, just have them immediately offload their whatever inventory they're carrying around, because it's kind of annoying to have to let them unload their stuff before sending them back out. Like, at least for me, maybe it's not a problem for most people, but I'm like, I'm always looking for, like, turning my people around immediately. And maybe that's, like, my own foible. I'm not sure. We could build another picker's cabin. Basically, I was thinking, like, we probably want to start working on lianas from these whipping gourds that are just hanging around. But we don't have, like, a great place to be picking them from. Because you need to trim the lianas to get, or trim the gourd to get lianas. So we'd either have to change this guy from picking to trimming, or somebody else to do that. Because I think it would be good to make some musical instruments. I think you only get tree trunks if you rip the tree out. Oh, during the seed scattering action. Interesting. Let's go ahead. I didn't realize I just had a guy sitting in here. Let's do a surface analysis on you to learn what the tree, the seed spreading action does. And this one also does that. Does the straw tree? I'm assuming, like, just, you know, understanding how seeds work, taking the seed spreading action, the seed scattering action causes more trees to pop up. But you never know. Maybe something weird happens. Maybe they're like, you thought scattering the seeds was a good thing, but lo and behold, it's actually detrimental. Didn't we learn what tapping the giant fungus did? Or was I more remarking on that tapping the giant fungus was interesting? I don't remember. Alright, the expedition has reached its destination. A helping hand! In the distance, the explorers spot the white tents of the Chalcedony Mesa. It is their last chance to finish their preparations and help the city. Do they have all they need? We do. Treat the ailment. Dude, that poor guy! Holy cow! The Chalcedony Mesa is in a worse state than the refugees have described. The streets are buried in sand, the reservoirs and cellars are empty, barely conscious people are dying in the streets, and bodies are drying up in their beds. Yikes. The explorers quickly take the worst off to a covered forum located in the center of the city. Patients are reluctant to take their medicines or communicate since they are no longer in danger. The best thing to do is go back home and repair this filtration system. Got tools and composites. Leaving provisions with the patients, the explorers know they have to come back as soon as possible to make sure things do not deteriorate again. They get ready for their trip. Okay. Well, that's good. We've made progress. Despite resistance from the inhabitants of the Chalcedony Mesa, we healed and rehydrated most of them, and left some food in case their appetites return. Two problems remain. First, the citizens are still in a catatonic state, and they don't attend to their own needs. That is not good. Second, their incapacity to perform maintenance operations has triggered some fatal technical issues. For instance, the central sand filter protecting the housing from fine particles is dysfunctional, and we don't have the proper gear to repair it. We should either produce repair materials or explore nearby areas to find what we need. Build a sand extractor and build a sand factory, and we have to have 50 citizens. How do we build you again? I think it's in the technology tree. Let's look over here. Sand extractor. We need a cultural level of 100. And then we need technological artifacts. But we have enough for that. We just need higher cultural level. So I guess, didn't I get most of my culture from exploring? I think that is what happened. So I guess we'll just keep on trucking. Alright, these guys are fully loaded. That is good. We'll have 3 more people next cycle when the children upgrade. Upgrade? When the children grow up. Upgrade the children. Do it now. That one's kind of extra. We don't need to high priority that. Eventually we'll get around to it. Nobody's sick. Things are fine. We only have 2 available citizens. Is it because you're working on this guy? Yeah, that's true. Part of the problem is we always have 4 people out there exploring at all times, so we don't have the music. Oh, and we don't have the tools either. Didn't we make these works of art yet? Oh, we did. Okay, go back to tools and make them out of thorns. Ah, and branches, rats. Clean water? No. Stone? We don't have a lot of stone. Alright, thorns it is. It's fewer branches than before. You do get branches from pruning, so that's a good thing. Like, these are not super high priority right now. Honestly, maybe making tree trunks would be a good thing to have somebody employed at, because we only have 22, and if we start doing anything else with the tree trunks, we're gonna run out of them like real fast. Arborists collect a small surplus of seeds and then scatter them to help the bunch trees proliferate. Attempt to get the plant to proliferate, and we gain seeds. Okay. That's kind of cool. I like that. Honestly, since we have such a high usage of I don't know why I said a high usage. Since we have so many watery pods right now, I think it would be good to take this random guy we have and just have him throwing seeds all over the place. Because if we can get even more straw trees growing around the cultural square, not only will that make this guy like more efficient, I think, in the long run, but it'll make the cultural square better. Oh no! How did you get wounded? When a citizen interacts with certain plants, they may get a wound. Performing analysis on plants is essential. Where did they get wounded from? Oh, you tried to... Oh, I'm stupid. Dang it. I didn't realize this was a whipping gourd. Get this out of here. All right, this person needs medical assistance immediately. A wounded person. We will treat them with poultices. Thankfully, we have 20 in stock. Oman, are you going to... Atman? What's your name? Othan. Excuse me, we have... That is my biggest frustration with this game right now, is, the inventory system doesn't seem to work as well as it could. Not protected gear. What I want to do, though, is I want to try and start forcing resources to be in the areas of the city that make the most sense. So we have these warehouses, right? We should be forcing poultices and all of our medicines, essentially. So poultice, cooling balm, and purifying remedies to be only in this small warehouse. So what I think I'll do is off camera, I'll kind of go through and try to sort out where my resources are being stored and then try to force them into better districts. So like this warehouse should be filled with stuff that the weaver's workshop and the carpentry are going to use, and the forge. So they should have like thorns, branches, rocks, all that kind of stuff. Over here, maybe they only have cooling balms, and like tools seem to get pulled into research like automatically, so maybe we don't have to worry about that as much. We did get a new analysis. It looks like, oh, gotta be careful. If you try to do the seed scattering for the orange hydra, it'll actually hurt you. Interesting. I bet that's the same thing with the whipping gourd then, because this guy got himself hurt. And by got himself hurt, I got him hurt, but there you go. Thank you for dropping off the poultices so we can get that man to the hospital. Othan. Athen, don't go home. You need to go. You need to go to the hospital. Athen! We have poultices. How do I get you in here? Can be healed at the infirmary. Takes 6 days and 2 poultices. We have a person working here. The sun awning was done. That's good. You bonehead. Go to the hospital. I swear to God, if Athen dies because he won't go to the healing, or do I have to send him here? Like, it says capacity. I assume that means you can only heal 2 people at a time, but I have no way of making him go get healed. Unless I shut off his work? Maybe that's it. Here, you're no longer working. Go to the hospital. Aha! We've discovered it! Alright, if you're wondering why your people continue to work until they die, it's because they're so dedicated to their craft, they will not abandon their job for healing their own life. That's wild. Anyway, it's a great place to pause the episode. Let's see. Do we want to do Desert Melodies? We don't have the tools for it. So, we can't do that either. Ground analysis is interesting, though. Do we have anything we could do? Oh, no resources. Sick. Urban well-being. Fantastic. All right, that's a great place to pause the episode. If you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more Synergy or the other videos going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications going so you know when the videos go live. And I hope you had a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.